Alright, just checking my lighting there. Today is the Lather games. We're the last week, and today is Summer Break Soaps brand day, and History 101 is one from them that just sounded amazing to me, and it does smell very good from the puck. I haven't tried it yet, and I don't believe I've actually tried anything from Summer Break at all, so this will be good. The razor that we're going to use, the razor blade, is a Racer brand. It will go inside this Gillette Slim adjustable. This is a eye. If you look up online, you can find what year the eye was made. So I have no clue. I think I saw this. I just saw this blade on tryablade.com and figured, hey, I'll give you a dime. You can send it to me and I will try it out. It's an Egyptian. It's made in Egypt. Super stainless. That's all there is to it. Racer, whatever that is. So it does have a little bit of the residue from the either wax or whatever stuff they put on the blade to fasten it to the paper. So there we go. Actually, yeah, I'm on a 4 setting for aggression. We'll just leave it right there. And the brush is a golden nib knot, and it is a Silvertip Badger, and this is the grade A one from the golden nib, not the premium Silvertip. Mozingo handle, very nice. Love the colors. I'll be putting my soap into this Dollar Tree soup bowl. I'll be governing water with this. So let us, and post shave is going to be, I'm going to see how this, another one of my favorite scents, Sharp Dressed Man from Stirling. See how it couples with a genre of scent that I really enjoy. Just leather, gunpowder, you know, that sort of thing. It's kind of what I get from here. So let's see how soft it is. It's not too soft. That's good. I personally like it when there's, just seems like the soft ones go quicker, you know. 1/4 teaspoon of soap. And we'll spread it around in the bottom. If you're a beginner shaver, this is actually a very good practice if you're having trouble with getting your lathers down, because this is a way to know exactly how much soap you're using and what it looks like when you use that amount of soap. All right. Get the extra little bit that's in the bottom of this. Summer Break is a new soap maker that is, as far as I know, is new in, I think maybe in 2017, but maybe in 18, I can't remember. And had good reports. I remember online people saying good things. And so I haven't tried the Racer out yet. That'll be new and interesting. Oh, Kearney, Nebraska. The soap is made in Kearney, Nebraska. I used to live in Nebraska, and Kearney is in the geographical center of the United States, as I recall. It's a little small town. It's on, I think, Highway 80 or something like that, or 40. Some big highway that goes across the a large chunk of America. All right, so that's in there. Splash my face with some water. I'm not sure about the hardness of this water, but I use just whatever that comes out of the cold tap. All right. And then take this brush out, shake it out. Try to sling all of the water I can out of it. And we'll start it up. This brush started out, this golden nib started out with some prickle to it. It wasn't a lot, and I was going to hope that it went away after I used the brush a good many times, and that's true. It worked. The prickle's gone, but kind of the wiriness is still there. It's probably going to get sold off to somebody who likes some scrub with their brush. I don't really. So after a little bit of dry work, we can see there's that. So we're going to start with adding some wet. Just half a teaspoon of water, and that usually will get the soap to really wake up. Some soaps need you to add the water to wake, like I did, and scrub at it a little bit. If the soap comes alive and kind of looks like this without you adding any water, then a lot of times it's good that you waited. But some stay dry, and then you just go ahead and start adding the water right away. But like with Mystic Waters, it's a fabulous soap. The feel and the creaminess there is just amazing. But if you add water too quickly, it's all goopy and bubbly, airy, and never quite sets up right for you. All right. Just kind of half a teaspoon at a time. This is a big knot. I mean, there are definitely bigger ones, but it's a knot that you do kind of have to maybe mix just a little bit extra lather for. Because it uses some up itself. All right, that's 2 teaspoons now in the mix. I suppose once you've figured out your whatever soap you have that you use consistently, most people don't switch around quite as often as I did, then you'll be able to lather it a lot quicker. Figure out how quickly you can add water to still get a good lather. So I'm kind of taking the long way around because I'm kind of taking a generic method of that's gotten me through a lot of soaps. And yeah, see, look, we're starting to you see some a little bit of jaggediness, a little bit of waviness. And so to me that means I keep going with the water. Now it's got 3 teaspoons of water in there. So this well, some interesting things are different now than from when it's in the dry tub state. The scent is a little different. I still like it a lot. It looks great. It's got a good sheen on it. I'd say a medium to medium high sheen. Long peaks, long flexible peaks. Okay, I'm going to take a second and make sure that I mix this well, because it might be time to stop adding water. Little finger test. Not a lot of cushion. Kind of watery slickness. But decent slickness. Why don't we go ahead and stop just in case we don't want to take it too far. I call it watery slickness when it's not kind of an oily slickness. Usually the watery slickness aspect is makes it easy to wash off your face, but it doesn't seem to have as much kind of lube and glide as the oily kind, or butter kind, or whatever. All right, so again, we'll hit my face with some water. All right, time to put that brush on the face. Nice scent coming up. I think it shares some scent notes with Chiseled Face, Midnight Stag a little bit. It's not quite, I don't think it's quite as polarizing as Midnight Stag. The feel is very good right now. It's not super luxurious like a couple of my brushes, but it's also not feeling all that scrubby right now. So that's good. Now I just switch to the painting motions. And there we go. Rinses quickly from the fingers, which is convenient. So, the razor blade. A lot of times the slim will be a very smooth razor for me. So let's see how the razor does. The shave that we're working on now is one that's just 24 hours old. A little bit of rough. A little bit of roughness on that. Let's try the other side. Yeah. A little bit of roughness there. Sometimes I'll shave with shorter strokes. I believe that's called buffing. Kind of like this, like move it across, you know. I don't think this blade likes that, at least not when it's brand new. Some blades will smooth out after the edge kind of changes a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes a blade will feel this rough because it's doing a great job cutting. And most of that neck part was just fine. It didn't feel too bad. Didn't feel too rough. Just kind of normal blade feel. A little bit of audio feedback there. A little half rinse. Okay. And now we go back to the lather. Left my face pretty wet. We'll see how the lather likes it. See if it's makes it a little too thin or not. Alright, not too much scrubbing needed for the second pass. Now let's just even out the... Oh no, yeah, that's nice. I think I dialed this one in pretty good. Might have been able to go a little farther with the water, but No, I think I stopped at about the right spot. Happy with that. Cross grain on the cheeks. Now the 4 here is not really all that of an aggressive setting for me. Usually it's a nice blend of cutting and comfort. And so if this guy is a problem at 4, that does tell me something about the blade. Of course, always remember that blades and whether a blade works well for me is going to differ very much from how it works for you. At least it could. If your skin and hair type are like mine, there's a better chance that our experiences will be more similar. But you just never know. So it may be junk for me, but you may really get a good use out of it. Maybe one of your favorites. So just kind of try before you buy. Don't buy any blade with a 100 pack just to save some money. You never know if you're going to like it. The water's getting cold now, the tap water. I'm in a location that's kind of still has cold groundwater, and even though we're kind of in the summer. All right, and so now it's getting refreshing and bracing. Third pass. I'm liking this brush this time. Maybe it just works well with this particular kind of soap. Mixed at this creaminess level, you know, if you're a scrubby brush and you get a good creamy cushiony soap, then maybe the scrubby brush is more pleasing, more comfortable. So summer break, really happy with it. I'd say the scent strength's a bit low, 3 out of 10 maybe for me. During the brushing on application process, I don't really like it at that range. I'd rather have it a little bit stronger, but you know, what are you going to do? With all these ingredients that they have, I'm sure some of these are going to be irritating to some people's skin if they're in higher concentrations. So I'm thinking that might be what's going on. All right, we're going to stay at a 4 and see what the third pass looks like. Skin feels a little irritated in some areas. The Sputnik I had yesterday in my Fat Boy, I think is what I used, was a lot smoother. Even at a 1 higher aggressions level, I used it at a 5 with my Fat Boy, 5 of 9. And it was better for my skin than this current setup. And it gave me an above average shave too. That's really all that matters. If you can tolerate a rough shave, if it gives you a great result, that might be the blade for you. Now if you can find a smoother blade with more comfort that does the same thing, even better. All right, third pass is done. I'm going to pause you while I look at the results and do a full rinse. Many times I find that when a soap has what I would call a watery slickness, that means that after you've shaved in an area and you move over here maybe to keep shaving, over here it kind of has dried enough to where you would definitely have to reapply lather to continue. Otherwise you could cause yourself some irritation. This is not the case with this soap. It is kind of a watery type slickness. However, I still feel a little bit of slickness right after the rinse. It's starting to disappear now, but I definitely did not have any problem going back over certain areas. I mean, you're not going to want to wait a long time, and your skin type may also determine if that's good for you or not. So pay attention to that. After 3 passes, let's see. We're going to go ahead and do a neck pass because it looks like it needs it in a certain spot, and I've got tons of lather. Okay, the spot I need to kind of treat is right here. The cold water here after my rinse and stuff, and the cold cooling the safety bar of my razor here is very good at helping with inflammation. If you have a problem with that, then try a cool water shave. Shoot, I heard of some guys even, when they fill their sink full of water to make their kind of rinse water and stuff, they put some ice in there to make it a cold one. I shave with room temperature water or whatever comes out of the tap out of kind of convenience and not wanting extra hassle. So I don't think I'm going to be taking a trip to the fridge to get some ice. A little rinse. Yeah, so I think I ended up dialing in this lather pretty well on my first shot. Sometimes you just kind of get lucky, but when I did I did it by look up into a certain point, and then when I saw that I had added 3 teaspoons of water, I knew that a lot of soaps need to be checked at that point. Many soaps you do not want to go that far past. So that's when I did my finger test, and because the cushion wasn't really there, I thought, let's go ahead and shave with it, and I was right. How much extra soap, how much extra lather do I have? I mean, not tons, enough for a pass or 2 if I was skimpy, and that's about where I like it. I like to have a little bit extra in case I make a mistake or something. So apparently with this soap, a 1/4 teaspoon is my personal preference for the amount of lather I need. If I want it creamy or cushiony, maybe or more so than I have now, which I don't really know that I would need. I could back up on that water content. 3 teaspoons of water. I could put maybe 2.5, 2 3/4, and have a little bit more luxurious feel to the shave. So those are my preferences. Definitely not some kind of standard that you need to adhere to. And there we go. Rinse out of the brush. So this is a nice scent. A little bit on the weak side. Kind of like what? I suppose the idea is it's what history is made out of. The tumultuous revolutionary type history has some sense associated with it, with revolution and fighting and making good changes, even if necessary by force. And I like this soap. A little on the weak side for me, but I think this is probably the best soap for me from this brand. I might just keep it around just for that, so that I have a good representation. It's got a little bit of scent to it, so I just keep it around. A good performer. I'm very happy with that. I think it competes very nicely with a lot of the soaps out there. I'm going to use it again before I try to give you some synonyms with who it might be good for. It's definitely probably better than like Mickey Lee, in my opinion. Does it compete with Barrister and Man? Maybe for some people. Does it compete with Stirling? Maybe for me, maybe not. Stirling to me is a little slicker, but I might have to have a head-to-head to make sure it's that close. Okay, but my opinion, it's a very good performing soap base. A lot of these soaps, you're just fighting over tiny changes, and in the top, 80 soaps that are out there, they're all going to give you great, luxurious, creamy shaves. So basically just pick what business you may want to support, or what scent you want to have, and just enjoy shaving. Let's see, a little bit of slickness left. It hasn't all left, and so now's a great time to put on some Sharp Dressed Man. And let's see if it mixes with the History 101. Don't know if it will. Two of my favorite genres coming together. Of course, this is the Green Irish Tweed scent is a classic fragrance for men, very masculine, and this is Stirling's version of that. I'm glad they make it. Very glad. So here I have that awesome scent going on here. Let's bring in now the new guy. Wow, that's interesting. The Green Irish Tweed neutralizes some of these scents in here. It smells like a different soap. Or at least it smells like a soap without some of the big notes that you remembered being in there a second ago. I think it goes well together. Just different. So there we go. All right. I'm happy with that shave. It was a little rough in the beginning, so I'll be interested to see. What I'll do is I take my Sharpie and the little envelope that the eraser came in, and I'll put a dot there. So that means that I shaved with this razor blade once. And now I'll clean up and be back with any notes. Well, that didn't go well. Sorry. So the razor blade, a little harsh on first use. Of course, most blades are fine second and third pass. This is the same. The final decision, I think, remains and can be ascertained when it's used a second time. And because it may be a whole different blade, so we'll hold off judgment for then. It wasn't immediately a good blade, but let's wait and see. If you're a person who likes to shave with a blade once and then throw it away, which is reasonable because a lot of times blades are 10 cents. So you can do that if you want. But in that case, if I were that kind of person, I would not want to have this use this racer very much at all, because it just would be rough all the time. Now, it may not be rough for you, remember, subjective. Blades are very subjective. All right, so we'll try that one again some other time when the lather games are not going on. I'm trying to use a different blade each day. My first lather games, and I'm having fun so far. And we're doing good. So Desert Island question, would I like to have this gear? Of course, I would love to have my Slim and be stuck with it for 20 years. It's a great razor, very smooth. This blade, maybe not so much. This soap, yeah, not be a problem. Very happy with the performance. The scent is there. May not be as high as I'd like it, but at least I can smell a little bit of it while I'm using it. That's good. All right. There we go. Almost done cleaning up. This will probably be goodbye. So take care and have a good night.